All right, welcome everybody to SR Broadcasting this wonderful Monday night. We're here with GAC Racing League in the Truck Series Unleashed at Atlanta Motor Speedway for 125 laps. I'm Paul. I'm here with Joe. What's up, Joe?
Oh, not much. How's it going?
That's going pretty good. A lot of bad weather down here for the last couple days, and I guess 2 more days. We got a bunch of storms and flood watches and stuff, but it hasn't really affected us yet here. Just coming down, man.
Yeah, I hear you. It's been pretty crappy here up north too.
Well, it looks like we got a pretty good race here tonight with these boys here at GAC. Looks like right now we got 17 guys in the server. We got some points to go over in a little bit. And I see Shane is here now. I didn't see him here earlier. Shane is going to come in your points leader tonight. This is race number 2 in the truck series. And when I was on a little bit earlier, I didn't see him there. And I was like, oh, man, he's going to give up that spot. But he'll be here to defend it. So should be pretty good, man.
Yeah, he was definitely late getting in here, but good to see him come out. There's a couple other guys here that missed last week too, so it's definitely going to be a point shakeup, I'm sure, after tonight.
Yeah, it's real close too in points. Matter of fact, let me pull the points up right now. After the first race at Michigan, Shane Gross was your winner, and he comes in here as your leader with 3 points ahead of Tony Gray, who is last season's champion in the super late models. And then we move to third place, which is Jim Locking, and he's only 4 points behind the leader. And then we go back to Gary Shank. He's only 5 points behind the leader. And then fifth place, Michael Campbell, and he's only 7 points behind the leader. We go back to sixth place. You got Paul Cohen, who's 8 points behind the leader, and he's only 1 point behind Michael Campbell, so it's real close. And then we have a tie for seventh between Mark McFadden and Dean Viney. And they're both 10 points behind the leader. And then you have a tie again for 10th place between Len McNeese and Michael Palmer. And they're 12 points behind. And if you go a little further back, 12th place is Kurt Davidson. 13th is John Estes. 14th is Randy Perdue. 15th is David Gameforth. And then rounding out in 16th is Marcus McFadden. And he's only 19 points behind the leader. So, I mean, anybody's got it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's still early on in this series, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of shakeup in points here in the next few weeks.
Yeah, definitely going to be a good race. I believe last week in the race, that was it just one caution for 90 laps.
Yeah, they did a great job. It was 85 laps at Michigan. The guys had one caution. It was really cool. That was an awesome race just to see all the different pit strategies and just to see how everything played out. It was really cool.
Yeah, and there was
But
a lot of there was a lot of racing going on too that night.
yeah, there was 3 wide battles going on all the way through the field. That was a really good race. Hopefully we get another one of those here tonight.
Yeah, I think so. The way it's looking right now, the guys were saying the setup feels pretty good. It's Atlanta. Atlanta's a real good track to run in the trucks. Definitely a lot of grip. Let's take a look at the track conditions here. You got 75-degree air temperature, a track temperature of 102, a little hot, but not too bad, and clear skies, so should be something. And we're just sitting here right now at the start-finish line, kind of just watching them go around practicing, and I love that sound when they come flying by.
No, yeah, these trucks, they have a really nice sound to them, and see a lot of guys with some really nice paint jobs here tonight.
Yeah, we were going through making sure our trading paints was up. For some reason, it wasn't showing me the right paints. I believe we got it all sorted out. Yeah, 33 was just showing me in a green one. Now he's got a nice patriotic scheme, so I believe that's working good now. Even Ryan Gemmel, he was in the high sense, but now I see him in a different paint. So thankfully that's working again.
Yeah, I'm surprised if Yeah, the track temp, like you said, it's a little high tonight. I'm sure we're gonna see some trucks getting a little loose here and there. Probably not too bad, but given that the track temp's as high as it is, uh, looking at the practice times, I mean these guys are really close. I mean there's 2.5 tenths of a second separating first to 15th.
Yeah, we see the top five right now in warm up: Gary Shank, Michael Campbell, Mark Koshix, Ryan Gemmel, and Dwayne LaPrade. I'm going to go ahead.
Sorry, but I was just gonna say there's so far a lot of familiar names up top.
Yeah, definitely. I want to just see if these guys are going to meeting. I don't want to disturb them during their driver's meeting. I'd like to try and get a word in with Shane Gross though in a minute and see if see how he feels about coming in tonight.
Looks like they're gonna get another pit party going here, so I'm sure we got a minute.
Let's see if we can't grab him real fast. Hopefully we don't mess him up, but I'd like to get a word in with him. Hey, Shane Gross, this is Paul and Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Hey, dude, we're just going over the points. You're coming in tonight as the points leader by a few. We know you got in here a little bit late. You got a little bit of time to do some laps. How you feeling out there about tonight's race?
Truck seems to feel pretty good. What laps I have got to run a little bit longer run there the first time. It started to push a little bit when you get on the inside of somebody. So I guess we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, well, hopefully you guys put on another good show. The last race was good, man. Joe was saying 85 laps, one caution, man. Some real hard racing. Hopefully we get to see that again tonight and see you come out in the podium finish, man.
I hope so too.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on you and we'll try to get caught up with you later on in the race, man. Good luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
Yep, good luck out there, buddy. Thanks for taking the time to have a word with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I feel bad bothering him during the warm-up, but I like to get a couple words in, you know, and see how these guys feel coming into races, you know.
I don't feel bad at all. We can be nosy. It's our job.
Yeah, I guess so. But Atlanta, man, Atlanta's a great track.
Yeah, this is, I'd say it's in my top 5 favorite places to go. This track's a lot of fun with the worn out surface. It offers a lot of different grooves. I mean, you can really move around a lot and still have some speed, so it should definitely be interesting tonight.
And just those little bit of bumps in the track too, man. It really makes you stay on top of it, you know. We see a bunch of guys pulling off right now, getting ready. They must be getting ready to head to their driver's meeting.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
But while they have their driver's meeting, we'll take a quick break in a minute and we'll run our national anthem and come back and see what goes on here, man. See what kind of points we get going up here for qualify. Like I said, they got 125 laps here tonight, one fast repair, and excuse me, GAC Unleashed, man. These guys are gonna get at it. As soon as I can find what I'm looking for, we'll go ahead and get going. All right, we're gonna run our national anthem. We'll be right back. All right, we're just going to, we got about 2 minutes left. They're in their driver's meeting right now. So we'll just kind of hang out and wait for them to get back on track and see what they got going on here. Should be pretty close qualify. I can't imagine the times dropping off all that much. I'm curious to see who's going to start on the pole here tonight because the times are very close.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it last year with, or I keep saying last season with these guys. I mean, there's a handful of guys that seem to always work their way up to the front, but I'm looking at it now, and even last week, there's just, I don't know, there's different guys in here now. I feel like the competition level is just, it's even more stiff this season, so it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, and I think one of the things is green flag pit stops tonight are going to be key. We always see like Dwayne LaPrade, he has kind of a different pit strategy than some of the other guys, and it usually seems to work out in his favor. So I'm curious to see when he chooses to come on in. Same thing with, I think it's Michael Palmer and also there was one other one that I think might be Len McNeese. They usually have like a different kind of a pit strategy going than some of the others. And, you know, when I drive, I'm not too great with pit strategy, so I don't really think that way. But it always seems to work out for those guys.
Yeah, I've never really had a lot of luck with playing around with different strategies. Usually goes the opposite way I want it to go. But yeah, we've seen Dwayne in the past. He likes to pit really early, and just with the way everything works out and the lack of cautions, it really seems to play in his favor. And we see a lot of other guys like Len and Michael Palmer who will stay out a lot longer and pretty much run the tanks dry. And, you know, somehow all these guys end up together at the end of the race. It makes it
Yeah.
really exciting.
I think tires are going to be key here tonight, though. Tires are definitely going to be key. I can't imagine the first couple pit stops. I can't imagine not taking 4 tires and fuel. Let's see. They're just moving over to qualify now. So let's pull up the qualify ticker here and see who's going to get out on the track. We got the 33 of Mark Kosius. We'll take a lap around with him, see what kind of time he gets to put up here. Got a couple different guys out on the track right now. Dean Viney, David Gainforth, Michael Campbell, Shane Gross.
It's going to be interesting to see, too, how, you know, this is an older track surface. Is lap 1 going to be their fast time, or are they going to be able to pick up some on lap 2? I guess we'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, if I remember right, I think lap 2 is your fastest, and then it kind of breaks off from there a few laps. There's a few guys that can probably pull a third, but I think 2 is going to be it. And then, you know, if you could get, you know, 5 or 6 laps out of it and get scored for it, obviously once the fuel burns off, you can pick up a little bit more. But from what I remember, I think lap 2 is going to be your score that you want. So we got Mark just run across with a 29.548. That puts him up in first on his first lap. So we'll watch him come around for a second lap and see if he picks up any time on it. And he, where's he go to?
Ended up third, well, fourth now for the moment with a 29.381.
Run around here with Dwayne. Oh, he catches the white line down on the bottom. Yeah, he got it down just a little bit too low. Caught that white line, got a little bit sideways. Still in second, so not a bad run. And we see him going through the grass. Jump out here quickly with Ryan Gemmel. So far, Mr. Gary Shank up there in that #1 spot.
And I mean, just like practice, I mean, the times they've dropped off a little bit with track temperature. I'm sure it's coming up from these guys being out there, but I mean, the times are really close all the way through the top 10.
And you see now Ryan Gemmel does take over the top spot. And we have Paul Cohen out, John Estes out. See Paul Cohen in 10th. And Michael Palmer is out taking his lap. Another one. So it's got him up in 4th at the moment. Gary Shank in 2nd. And we'll watch John Estes come across. You got to see the back of John Estes' truck. Let me see if I can get to it before he gets out. Taking your crap since 1982.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. The Royal Flush. Yeah, well, it looks like Ryan Gemmel is going to hang on to that top spot here tonight. So he's going to come out your pole winner. So we'll just wait for these guys to go ahead and grid up. We'll run over the grid.
Sounds good.
And tonight we are, like I said, we are live here at Atlanta Motor Speedway with GAC in the truck series. And 125 laps here tonight. One fast repair and some real hard racing. We got, how many guys we got out here? We got 18 guys out here right now going to take the grid.
Yeah, it's a pretty good sized field. These guys, they picked up some new guys here, and it's nice to see the field growing a little bit.
All right, as they get ready to start gridding up, let's run over the grid. We have Ryan Gemmel, who's going to start on the pole. Ryan Gemmel, congratulations on the pole position tonight. Gary Shank will start second. Third place will go to Dwayne LaPrade. Fourth place goes to Michael Palmer. Fifth place will be Len McNeese. Sixth place will be Kurt Davidson. Seventh will go to Tony Gray. Eighth will be Michael Campbell. Ninth place goes to Shane Gross, who's your leader in the points coming into tonight's race. And 10th will be Paul Cohen. Joe?
11th place will be John Estes. Starting in 12th is Mark Koshik. 13th will be Jim Locking. David Gainforth starts 14th. Dean Viney in 15th. Randy Perdue starts 16th. 17th we have Mark McFadden. And rounding out the field in 18th place is Billy Rodenberger.
All right.
It's going to be a good one here tonight.
Yeah, let's see what these boys got. I don't see more than 2 cautions tonight. Maybe 3 tops, depending on how hard and how far the tires drop off. But I'd be surprised, we get through with no cautions.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me one bit. I know that these guys show a lot of patience, and they've all raced together for quite some time. They all know one another pretty well. So hopefully we get a low caution and exciting race here tonight. 'Cause I know that these guys show a lot of patience, and they've all raced together for quite some time. They all know one another pretty well. So hopefully we get a low caution and exciting race here tonight. 'Cause I know that these guys show a lot of patience, and they've all raced together for quite some time. They all know one another pretty well. So hopefully we get a low caution and exciting race here tonight.
All right, well, we see the pace car lights are off, so we'll wait for the pace car to duck in and get these guys going tonight here at Atlanta. Have a couple different camera angles to look at tonight too. Pace car ducks in. And the green is out.
It looked like Gary got a bit of a jump there on Ryan. Ryan was the leader. He didn't really get that great of a start, but seems to pull ahead here on the bottom line, coming through 1 and 2. He'll clear Gary for first place.
Yeah, they got it pretty tight right there, first and second. The rest of the field is still side by side. Let's go back just a little bit here. See a lot of side-by-side racing from 4th place on.
And we got Tony Gray and Michael Palmer battling it out for 5th place. They've been side by side since the green flag drop.
Right now, it looks like most of the drivers duck down to the inside line.
Yeah, I think that's going to be where you want to be for about the first 5 or 6 laps. These tires are going to start to wear off, and these guys might start to experiment a little bit and move up the track. I know you can still make some pretty good time running about middle of the track, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we see back to 8th place. They are single filed right now. Ryan Gemmel in the lead, about 4/10 over 2nd place Gary Shank. We go back a little bit further here to 10th place with John Estes and Michael Campbell and Jim Locking in that bunch. See Jim Locking on the little bit higher side. And underneath him is Mark Koshix in the 33. And then we go back a little bit to Paul Cohen and Dean Viney. See David Gainforth just, I believe he just moved in front of Dean Viney. Oh no, sorry, yeah, in front of Billy Rodenbarger. The 41 of Kurt Davidson now in 6th.
And so far these guys are pretty much all single filed out here. It looks like they've kind of broken up into 2 different groups. Ryan pulled out to a pretty decent lead here.
I'll tell you what, man, they sound really good out here tonight for sure. See Kurt Davidson down to the inside. Looking like he's going to take a pass at the 00 of Tony Gray.
And Kurt's got some help behind him with 31 of Michael Palmer.
And you see those trucks moving around just a little bit, bouncing. Very characteristic Atlanta here. Looks like Kurt will complete that pass.
Saw Tony slam that door on Michael Palmer. Didn't want to lose another spot right there.
I wonder what happened to the 48 of Mark McFadden. He's a little bit back there in 17th place. Randy Perdue is not out on the track.
Yeah, he looks like he was issued a penalty early on, and Something must have happened as he took it behind the wall.
We got a pretty tight battle right here going on between Gary Shank, Dwayne LaPrade, Len McNeese, Kurt Davidson, and Tony Gray. Man, these guys are back bunched up together again. See Tony Gray now trying to take a look underneath the 41 of Kurt Davidson. That'll bring Michael Palmer and the 31 to his side now. You see the number 4, who is our points leader coming in tonight, in 8th, taking a look underneath the 41 of Kurt Davidson.
Yeah, it looks like these guys are getting a little more racy now. While we were watching that, second place changed hands as well.
Yeah, I see Dwayne LaPrade now up in 2nd. Gary Shank moves back to 3rd. See if Dwayne can start cutting some time off and chase down that leader.
Tony Gray getting to the inside of Len McNeese.
Yeah, Len's gonna be shuffling off the Buffalo up there in a little bit if he can't get back down and get inside somewhere.
You know, we heard Shane before the race too saying that these trucks, they want to push up the track a little bit once the tires get some wear on them. So hopefully we don't see any contact here, but we need to, I guess, be aware that it's a possibility from what information Shane gave us.
Yeah, look how close they are. I mean, they're just shuffling around for position, man.
Yep, and that's all happening behind Ryan Gemmel, your race leader at the moment. I'm sure that's a pretty welcoming sight for him, watching these guys get side by side. That just lets him pull away that much more. Got the 31 of Michael Palmer working the inside of Len McNeese right now. Oh man, these guys are so close.
Yeah. I just got back on him with the camera. We see somebody ducking it down low. I believe that was Jim Locking. Maybe he's having an issue because he just took it back to the garage.
Yeah, I was seeing during warm-up he was having what looked to be some electrical issues. He was blinking a little bit.
You see Dwayne LaPrade, Gary Shank, and Tony Gray. That's for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And Ryan Gemmel's keeping it out about 4 to 5 tenths ahead of these guys. It's been that way since the start. We see them shuffling around a little bit more. Now Tony Gray down to the inside. That's going to put Gary Shank a little bit high. And right behind Gary, you have the 84 of Len McNeese trying to figure out which way he wants to go.
Yeah, it looks like almost doesn't know which line he wants to help out at the moment, but those guys are pretty much neck and neck right now.
Let's jump inside with Len for a lap. Almost looks like a little bit of contact there, but man, that's close.
If it wasn't, that was close. Looked like Tony really had the checkup right there.
Let me see Len go ahead and take it in front of the 00. And Dwayne LaPrade is closing in quite a bit on your leader, Ryan Gemmell. He's got him down to about 2/10 right now. They were back about 4 or 5/10, so definitely reeling him in a little bit. Gary Shank behind the 13th, trying to push him there. Got those jelly belly jelly beans on that number 13 truck.
Well, he better start dumping some out the tailgate because he's got Gary Shank looking on the outside.
Yeah, that's what happens when you got something good. Everybody wants it. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it looks like Brian moved up the track a little bit and kind of gave the line to Dwayne there. Yeah.
Oh man, looked like we're gonna go 3 wide there up in the front. See Dwayne LaPrade down low. Gary Shank wanting to look in the middle. Here comes Len McNeese.
Yeah, forced Ryan Gemmell way up high. He's going backwards quick.
Yep.
Dwayne, Gary, Len, Tony Gray, Kurt Davidson. A lot of these guys are getting by.
We got a new leader, Dwayne LaPrade. Right now you battle for second between Gary Shank and Len McNeese. Gary will hold on a second.
Looks like once they all got through there, they're pretty much single filed out now. And just as I say that, we got Len looking on the inside of Gary here for second place.
And the yellow is out.
See Shane Gross, John
Yeah.
Estes.
Let me give me a second. We'll go back and see if we can see what happened. All right, we're riding along with oh, wrong person. Oh, looks, I gotta back that up just a pinch. I don't know if John Estes got into the wall or he checked up for. Yeah, he got into the wall and just kind of got a little piece of the number 4 of Shane Gross, and then Shane Gross got tagged by somebody.
Yeah, it looked like John was up into the wall. Shane checked up a bit, and the 51 of Paul Cullen got into the back of Shane there.
Yeah, we're watching it again now from the number 4. Yeah, not too bad. The 71 got a little piece of that too. Luckily, these guys do have their fast repair, so that could help here tonight.
That's going to bring everybody down pit road here. I'm sure that these guys are going to take these new tires with open arms at the moment. Looked like the handling was really starting to go away for some of these guys.
Yeah, everybody's down. I'm surprised nobody stayed out to try and gain a point. I guess with the amount of laps that are still left in the race, it's probably a good idea to get in. You see, it's probably going to be some green flag runs here. You probably want to just be prepared.
Yeah, and I think these guys are seeing it's so hard to pass right now too that you might just want to come down and get those 4 new tires and just maintain whatever track position you have.
And it looks like Dwayne LaPrade did come out first. Len McNeese second.
Gary Shank in 3rd place. Tony Gray in 4th, and Kurt Davidson rounding out the top 5 out of the pits.
So let's take a look here. We had 1 lead change, and that went from Ryan Gemmell to Dwayne LaPrade. We're under our first caution, and we have 100 laps remaining here.
Well, that was a pretty eventful first 25 laps. There's a lot of side-by-side battles going on there.
Yeah, these guys are really putting it out there now, man, but doing a good job of it, keeping it clean. Definitely some hard racing, but giving lots of room.
Yeah, I think these guys learned a lot during practice, just with how much tire fall off there is and how rough this track is. You want to make up as much ground as you can on those new tires and just try to set sail from there.
Let's see, I'm going to try and get a word in with Len. You feel like talking to him?
Sounds good.
Hey, Len, this is Paul and Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Paul.
Hey, Len, how's it going, man?
Pretty good.
Looks like you guys are having a lot of fun out there. We see a lot of side-by-side battles going on.
Yeah, right now, early when the tires are fresh, you can get a lot of good running going side by side, but it's kind of, we was noticing there after about the 25th lap, that right front starting to give up pretty heavy.
Yeah, that's what it was looking like, man. After a little bit, it just seems like the handling starts to go away, and we see some guys sliding up the track a bit. So hopefully, you guys keep it green here and get to see some different pit strategies, and hopefully see how that all plays out.
Yeah, it's going to be curious on some of the pit strategies. I think we stayed along green flag here. It's definitely going to have some pit strategies changing the play of the game here.
What kind of laps are you looking at for a fuel run?
Well, I don't think fuel. I think we're going to have tires before we have to have fuel, because we can probably go about 40 or 50 laps on fuel.
Wow. All right.
But I just don't see the right front holding up.
Yeah, well, hopefully it holds up long enough for you here, and we see you're on one to go, getting ready to take the green here. So thanks, bud, for having a word with us, and good luck out there.
All right, thank you guys for putting it on. Great show up there.
All right. Good luck, dude. All right. That's what I wanted to know. I had a feeling that tires were going to be the issue, not fuel, but you know, you never know with Atlanta.
Nah, I don't think that we're really going to see anyone try to push it past 40 laps here, but looks like the pace car is getting ready to dive on the pit road here. Green flags out there, back underway here at Atlanta. Like, front couple rows got a really good start there. See Len pull ahead about a half a truck length from Dwayne LaPrade. Dwayne on the inside line with new tires, starting to pull it back. He's got Gary pretty close behind, pushing him.
Yeah, it's definitely a good start right there. They were all over the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade. We know Dwayne has a better long run than he does on the starts. So, you know, if he can keep it out there and get those tires warmed up a little bit, I don't think he'll have a problem keeping it in the front.
Yeah, it's got Gary Schenk all over his back bumper at the moment. So,
oh, that looked close.
yeah, we look even closer right there, getting into 3. I think Gary might even give Dwayne a little bump right there. You see, Len real tight on the outside of the 41 at Kurt Davidson. We got Tony Gray and Ryan Gimmel side by side, and Michael Palmer waiting for a mistake from someone to pick up some spots right here.
Yeah, that's all it's going to take. I just like the way these things bounce around, man. It just looks so it looks so cool. And when you're in there, it's such a good feeling, man, to be bouncing around in that truck, hanging on.
Yeah, it definitely looks a lot more rough on video than what it feels like. It doesn't feel that rough when you're driving out there.
I think that's just because you're so pumped up.
Yeah, I think your adrenaline's going, and you know it's game on. You're trying to pick up as much spots as you can, but you don't even notice it.
We see what's going on up here with Gary Schenk and Kurt Davidson. Look like Gary Schenk going to take a look on the outside, man. Try to get up in the front.
Yeah, he had a really good run coming off turn 4 right there, but he didn't quite have it coming off at 2. That let Kurt get to the inside.
And we see Dwayne trying to hold both of those drivers off, trying to break that draft off him.
Yeah, he keeps running a defensive line down the back straightaway, trying to hold these guys off. We know Dwayne's usually a long run guy, but we got Len McNeese looking pretty hungry, getting around Gary. He's getting onto the inside of Kurt here. We'll see if he can get him cleared.
You heard him. You got to get what you can, man, while the tires are feeling good.
Well, it looks like he's getting all he can right now. He sucks right up to the rear bumper of Dwayne LePran.
And he got a great run there.
Yeah, he did. And it looks like he's telling Ryan Gemmel right behind him through all there.
Yep. Looked like they were going to go 3 wide, but Gemmel was able to keep it down low and take it through. See them kind of split up a little bit there. Gemmel to the inside, McNeese to the outside. Gemmel with a little bit of the advantage right now, coming out of 4.
No, it looks like Brian's taking Gary with him here, so what was easily gained was now easily lost.
Yeah.
McNeese.
You would think it's 20 to go here or 10 to go here, the way these guys are running right now.
Yeah, they've been 2 wide, 2 or 3 deep here for quite a while. Ryan Gemmel gets a pretty good run through 3 and 4. He gets up to the back bumper of Dwayne LePrad, and looks like we're going to get almost 3 wide there. Looks like Tony Gray and Len McNeese. Kurt Davidson looking to the inside of Len now. Got Gary Shank looking on the outside of Ryan Gemmel. Man, these guys are just side by side. It seems like all the time there's always a move going on up here.
Yeah, it just seems like you got to get it done while you can. Look up here, Dwayne LePrad still holding on to the lead, but these guys are right there, man, just pounding on that door. Dwayne's doing good, going back and forth, trying to keep the draft off. It seems to be working right now. They're not really able to get that advantage from the draft.
Yeah, I've noticed the last couple times Gary's been trying the outside through 1 and 2. He gets a really good run, but he can't get to the bottom there through 3 and 4, and it seems to be hurting him a little bit.
Take a look back from Dwayne's truck to Ryan Gemmel, Gary Shank, Tony Gray. You see how close Gemmel does get to that back bumper. And not that it's far, but Len McNeese back to 6th, and even back there in 6th, I mean, they're still racing.
Yeah, I mean, it's been side by side. Like I said, 2 wide, 2 or 3 deep here since they threw the green.
The 41 of Kurt Davidson, the 25 of Gary Shank to his outside. See a little bit of shifting going on. Tony Gray to the high side, back down low. See the 92 of Michael Campbell up in 9th, and right behind him, the number 10 spot, 74 Billy Rodenberger.
It's a good run going so far for Billy.
Yeah, got a nice sharp looking Pennzoil truck there too. And then right behind him, we got Dean Viney in 11th. Shane Gross is back in 12th. Mark McFadden is in 13th. Paul Cohen is in 14th. Mark Koshik is in 15th. And John Estes right now is showing a lap down in 16th. When we go back up front, you see the number 33 stay up high to let the leaders go on by. Side by side, the 41 and the 25 go through. Dwayne LaPrad's still holding on to the lead here. Dwayne started third. He's up in first, got 20 laps led. You see Ryan Gemmel and Tony Gray now side by side fighting it out for second, hoping to get first.
Yeah, they're trying, that's for sure.
Look at it. It looks like it's almost 5 wide at one point, you know?
I mean, these guys being side by side, it's keeping the whole pack right there. Kurt, Gary, and Len, Michael Palmer, you could throw a blanket over these guys. It's crazy right now.
Yeah, it's not letting anybody really step out. It's good, though. He's going to keep it exciting for us.
Oh, there's been no lack of excitement so far.
Go back to David Gainforth in the 101, back in 8th place. Right behind him is the 92 of Michael Campbell. Right in front of them are 31 of Michael Palmer. And then side by side, the 25 does move on the 84 of Len McNeese. We go up a little bit more. We see Ryan Gemmel under attack by the 41 of Kurt Davidson. Tony Gray up in the front on the outside now of Dwayne LaPrade, challenging him for the lead.
Yeah, he's been hanging there for a couple laps. I wonder if these tires got to start to be wearing down. It's hard for those guys to hold it down on the low line. This might be the point where you start to see that outside start to work a little bit better here. Dwayne clears Tony there off of turn 2.
And we see, who's that? The 101 of David Gainforth move up into 6th.
Okay, he gets around the 6 of Ryan Gemmel. That puts him back to 7th place for right now. He's still got these front 2 side by side. Tony's not giving up there. He's trying to make that middle lane work. Keeps getting a pretty good run off of turn 2 here. He carries some good momentum down the backstretch.
You see the 41? You see that 41 jump down low, get behind the 13 now. So he's going to try and take second away from Tony Gray.
And it looked like Kurt was able to really help Dwayne out there. He pushed him out 3 truck lengths over these guys. Tony Gray was on the outside battling for first spot. Now he slides back to 3rd here.
Just that quick.
This almost looks like a super speedway race.
Yeah, Tony just has to settle it down a little bit, let those tires cool off, and then come back at him again. So Gary Shank up in 4th, and your top 5th spot right here is Len McNeese.
It's definitely good to see a lot of these guys up in the top 10. So that's some pretty rough luck here lately. Good to see them up there fighting hard.
We see Dean Viney start at 15th. He's got himself up into 9th. Billy Rodenberger started 18th. He's in 10th. We go up to the 31 of Michael Palmer. He started 4th. He shifts back a little bit to 8th. Ryan Gemmel, who was your pole leader, is kind of falling back a little bit in 7th. David Gainforth moves from 14th to 6th. Gary Shank started 2nd. He's up in 4th. Len McNeese started 5th. He's in 5th. A little bit of side-by-side battling going on with the 25 of Gary. Oh, we got some contact.
Your leader, Dwayne LaPrade, got sideways there. Tony Gray tried to check up, but he got tagged from behind.
Oh, he does a great job saving it, though, too, man.
Those guys did a great job. Sliding through the grass, and they're able to keep it green here, no caution. I know Tony's going to be upset about that, but that was a heck of a save right there. That puts the 41 of Kurt Davidson up into the lead. Well, McNeese moves up to 2nd. He's got Gary Shank on his outside.
They did a good job keeping it off the wall, keeping it going. Loses a little bit of positions, but still plenty race here still. There's plenty time to, get caught back up. Now it's time for some pit strategy to come out.
Yeah, I mean, we're not even halfway there yet. I mean, these guys, I know it's frustrating, but they got a long way to go. So hopefully we see those guys work some different pit strategies and make their ways back up to the front.
Man, look at this battle back here for second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, these guys keep mixing it up. It looked like Gary got around Len and Len passed him back. Now Ryan's on the inside of Len here. Looks like he had to lift off. It gives Len the spot.
Oh,
back.
Len up into the wall.
Oh man. That lets a whole line of cars get by.
Yeah, it's gonna move Len back to seventh position. Not bad though. I mean, he keeps it going straight, so you know, not as bad as it could have been. You can see the tires starting to give up just a little bit now.
Yeah, it didn't look like a horrible hit right there, so hopefully he's able to still have some speed left in that. Hopefully it didn't hurt him too bad.
That'll move Dean Viney up to sixth. We see Michael Campbell down low. I'm not sure what happened with him. He's, I don't know if he lost control, but he's down 2 laps.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I think when we saw him down low right there, I believe he was coming off pit road. He may have had a slight incident going on. He wanted to come in and pit, get some fresh tires on that.
Oh, we got somebody into the wall. Oh, Billy Rodenberger. Oh, no. We seen him coming off of 2 there, hit the wall and go on in. Let's go back and take a look. They're not under yellow, but that was pretty bad. We need to go back and take a look at that. See him come off. He's on the wall, pulls it off the wall, hits that inside wall, and instantly rolls it over to the hood. What a hard hit for Billy.
Yeah, his engine's smoking there, so hopefully he hasn't used that faster pair up yet. Be able to get back out here with these guys. That's pretty unfortunate. Billy was having a really good run. And it's just unfortunate. And that's all you could say when something like that happens.
Yeah. So we see John Estes a lap down, Len McNeese a lap down, Dwayne LaPrade now a lap down. Michael Campbell 2 laps down, and we see Tony Gray coming into the pits. So these guys must be feeling that wear and wanting to come in now and get it done.
Well, the guy who benefited the most from all this excitement is the 41 of Kurt Davidson. He's checked out by a pretty good margin over second place Gary Schenk right now. Looks like we're starting to see some guys hitting pit road.
We got Kurt Davidson right now with 10 laps led, started 6th, and he is your leader. We'll keep an eye on him and see when he decides to bring it down the pit road.
Got the 25 of Gary Schenk hitting pit road right now. Oh, he hits the cone off into the grass.
Oh, no.
Looks like the 71 of Dean Viney is also going to hit pit road.
Yeah, we got a bunch of guys coming in now.
Got a side-by-side battle on new tires here with Len McNeese and Dwayne LaPrade.
And that is for 10th and 11th.
Wow, look how fast everything's spread out.
See David Gameforth, Mark McFadden getting ready to come down to pit. I believe Gary Schenk leaving the pits. Ryan Gemmell working his way down to the pits to get some tires and some fuel. That'll move Michael Palmer into second.
John Estes making his way to pit road.
And we see the 41 of Kurt Davidson getting ready to come down to the pits and give up that number 1 spot. That's going to put Michael Palmer up to the lead.
No surprise there to see Michael Palmer staying out here. Like we were talking about earlier, he really likes to stretch the fuel out, and he makes it work. It's pretty surprising to watch how that all comes together.
We see the number 92 of Michael Campbell go past him, and that should get him back one of the laps. It's showing him down 2 laps as Michael Palmer comes down pit road. Kurt Davidson now leaving the pits. It's still showing him as your leader, so we'll see how that scores this time by. Not too far behind him is Dwayne LaPrade in third. See if he has enough speed to catch him and make a pass on him. Him and Len McNeese.
It looked like Dwayne and Len got around Ryan as he was coming off pit road. It'll be interesting to see different tires. I guess they pitted a little bit sooner than Ryan did, so it'll be interesting to see the difference in tires if Ryan's able to get by there.
Hey, Joe.
Yes, sir.
I gotta step away real quick. I have an emergency here. I'm gonna leave the camera rolling. Hopefully nothing happens, but I gotta be right back.
Yes, sir. Well, sorry about that, folks. We see. I know you probably can't see it, but I'll try to talk you through it. We got a battle back here for 9th, 10th, and 11th place. We got Mark McFadden, Tony Gray, and Gary Schenk. Looks like Tony's getting a really good push from Gary here into turn 3. We'll see if they can get around the 48 of Mark McFadden. They're still side by side going through turns 1 and 2. Looks like Tony and Gary get a really good run off of 2 that time. That'll let Tony clear the 48. We'll see if Gary can get by. So, run you through your top 10 as we stand now that everything's cycled out. Right now, the 41 of Kurt Davidson is your race leader, followed by the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade. 3rd place, we have Ryan Gemmell. 4th is Len McNeese. 5th place, David Gainforth. 6th place is the 31 of Michael Palmer. 51 of Paul Cohen is in 7th place. 8th place is Shane Gross. Gary Schenk up in 9th place. Tony Gray rounding out the top 10. 11th place we have Mark McFadden. 12th place is Dean Viney. 13th, Michael Campbell. 14th, your first car 1 lap down, is the 72 of John Estes. 15th place, the 33 of Mark Koshik. And the 74 of Billy Rodenberger. In 16th place, I believe the 91 of Jim Locking has taken it behind the wall, as long as the 5, or as well as the 5 of Randy Perdue. I apologize. Well, it looks like green flag pit stops and a couple bumps in the road here has shuffled everything out. Let's kind of spread these guys out a little bit. See Dwayne LaPrade in that 13 Jelly Belly car still trying to run down your race leader, Kurt Davidson. It's been kind of hanging there. I'm surprised that Kurt has a little bit newer tires, so we'll have to keep an eye on that battle. See if either one of their tires start to give up, and keep an eye on that gap. No, sir. I was just ran through the field here to let everyone know where everyone sits at the moment.
Yeah, sorry about that. We had some plumbing issues here. Almost had a flood downstairs. I had to go run down and take care of that.
Yeah, before you came back, I was just talking about yeah, this gap. It looks like Dwayne LaPrade's still trying to reel in Kurt Davidson here for the race lead, and you know, Kurt pitted quite a bit later than Dwayne and Len did, and I mean, Dwayne's kind of hanging in there pretty good for having older tires. So it's going to be interesting to see later on in the run if he's still able to be there.
Yeah, coming up to 51 laps this time by. You see, he's only 6/10 behind.
Yeah, I know that if his tires do start to give up, Ryan Gemmel has, I think, about 5-lap pressure tires, so I'm sure Ryan will be right there knocking on his door.
And if you look at all three of those drivers up there in the front at the amount of laps that they have led, you've got Kurt Davidson with 24, Dwayne LaPrade with 28, and Ryan Gemmel with 21 laps led. A real tight battle for who's going to come out here with the most points led. And here goes Ryan Gemmel to the inside.
Yeah, I wasn't on that when it happened. I don't know if Dwayne had a bit of a moment there that let Ryan get by. It's one of those ask and you shall receive moments, I guess.
Really? These guys are doing a good job here so far. A lot of good racing going on. See if Ryan Gemmel can bring it down. Right now he's about 6/10 behind Kurt Davidson. So we'll see if he can close that gap up a little bit. We go back a little bit here to Tony Gray. And who is that? Paul Cohen for 8th and 9th. Mark McFadden up in 10th. Paul Cohen in 9th. Tony Gray in 8th. Go up a little bit further. We have Michael Palmer and Gary Shank in 7th, 6th. David Gameforth moves into your 5th spot. And right in front of him is Len McNeese, who is in 4th and under fire by the 101.
Yeah, that's another one of those tire battles right there. Looks like Len won't put up much of a fight or let Dave go.
Yeah, we saw Len just now get a little piece of that wall one more time. Definitely having some issues with that truck.
Yeah, that turn 4 wall, it'll bite you every time.
Yeah, especially when them tires start wearing out.
Yeah, about midway through the corner, you feel great. Like you have it under control. All of a sudden, you start sliding up the track.
See the 71 of Dean Viney, who right now is currently sitting in 11th. in the Oreo 71 Toyota Camry Tundra. I seen the Oreos, man. My mind went blank. All I could think of was cookies and milk.
That's what I say every time I'm on here. Guys, they're either talking about food or their paint schemes are about food, and it makes me hungry.
Yeah. Put on a couple of pounds just watching the race.
Yeah.
How you doing
guess-
there, Marcus?
Advertisement accomplished, right? That's what the sponsors are supposed to be for.
That's
selling
it.
product.
Well, especially cookies and milk, man. My boys and myself, we can down some cookies, man.
Hey, you don't gotta ask me twice about Oreos.
Looks like Michael Palmer and Len McNeese again side by side. You see Palmer trying to make the move on the inside on Len McNeese. Len McNeese with a little bit of an advantage, but definitely under fire. We see Ryan Gemmell, well, started to close in a little bit on Kurt Davidson, but back to about 6/10 again right now.
Yeah, I believe Michael Palmer was the last car to hit pit road there. So we see the 84 Len McNeese dives down the pit road.
I was just gonna say, yeah, Len McNeese just ducked down there. I wonder if he's used his fast repair or if he's gonna use it now. Let's keep an eye on him real quick, see if we see, I mean, this late in the race. And it looks like he's not gonna use it, or he's used it already, because I don't see any repairs being done. Maybe he's anticipating one more pit stop and use it then.
Yeah, possibly. I know that, I mean, the damage on this truck doesn't look too bad. The hood's wrinkled up a little bit, but
I just think
Not
it's more
terrible.
tires than anything.
yeah, I mean, that's what he was saying when we brought him up for an interview. There's going to be more tires than fuel that would make you come to pit road.
And we see Ryan Gemmell trying to do everything he can to reel in Kurt Davidson, but he just can't bring it any closer than about 5 or 6/10 there. It kind of floats back and forth between 5 and 7. If you look at the times, they're starting to drop off just a little bit. Even the speeds are down just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are running identical lap times right now, so definitely going to be tough for Ryan to close that gap up. Know
Sim-
that if you can short pit a guy, you can gain a ton of time on him, but we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, see who decides to come in and who stays out. We got Michael Palmer in the 31. He started 4th. He's currently 5th with 2 laps led. He's doing pretty good, having a decent run here with as we come to 36 to go. See Gary Shank hitting the pits one more time. That should be the last pit of the night if we stay green.
So the 101 of David Gainforth was able to get around Dwayne LaPrade. Moves him up to 3rd place for right now. Good run going there for David.
And they're not too far behind 2nd place Ryan Gemmell. Probably, I guess once they go in and pit, it's going to shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, that the first green flag pit stop, I mean, it really spread this out.
See Michael Palmer just leaving his pit stall, getting ready to get back out on the track. And we are about... Wait a second. How did Ryan Gemmel fall back 3.4 seconds behind Kurt Davidson?
I'm not too sure. I might have to go and take a look at that.
Wonder if he got down a little bit too low or pushed up and had to really get out of it. Let's go ahead. We'll take a ride around real quick with Kurt. We see a couple guys coming out of the pits. Lap car 2 is outside. A car coming out of the pits down, moving up high for him. Definitely navigating his way through.
Yeah, it looked like coming out of turn 2 on lap 91, Ryan got up into the wall there.
Yeah, we see Ryan Gemmel going into the pits now. So that should be his last pit for the night. That's going to move Paul Cohen up to 3rd. Mark McFadden will go up to 4th. It'll move Mark McFadden up to 3rd now because he passes Ryan Gemmel, who's in the pits. Tony Gray in the pits. So we're just waiting now for the leader to come on in. And see where this all breaks down once everybody's made their pit. We see Gary Shank behind him. Gary's shown right now in the 10th position. Just moves up to 9th.
He got a lap back the hard way right there. That puts him only 1 lap down right now.
Yeah, and once the leader goes in, that should bring him back to the lead lap. And here comes the 41 of Kurt Davidson now. So that should move Paul Cohen up to the lead. See if Paul can get back to the stripe in time.
No, sir. You'll have to wait till next time by.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, you're thinking that you got it, and it looks like you have it until it's actually scored. It's not really anything. I've done that before and ended up going in thinking, you know, I came out and led my lap, pitted, and never actually led the lap like he's doing now. We'll see if he's, I don't know if his pit stalls before the start finish line or after, but he slides going into the pits.
That's a tough break right there.
Well, at least he didn't wreck it. He was able to spin it back around and keep it going. So that puts Mark McFadden, would have put Mark McFadden up in the front. Kurt Davidson will now take over the lead again.
Yeah, neither one of those guys were able to lead that lap.
No.
That's a tough break. Try to pull some strategy, get that bonus point, and just didn't work out in his favor that time.
Yeah, it's hard. And even when you pit, if your pit stall's not in front of that start-finish line and you don't cross that line in time, you know, you kind of wasted your time being out there. So we're coming to 25 laps to go right now. We got Kurt Davidson with 48 laps led, your leader. Let's go through the top 5 real quick. Ryan Gemmel in 2nd place, and he's about 1.9 seconds behind. 3rd place will go to Michael Palmer right now as we sit, and he's about 5 seconds back. David Gainforth is a little bit over 5 seconds back, and then Dwayne LaPrade, who is in your top 5 spots, about 5.6 seconds back. So still 24 laps left in this race. Still time for some changes. We'll just have to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I know that it's not what these guys want to see, but a caution could change everything right now.
Yeah, for sure. Let's look over the race summary. We've had 1 caution for 4 laps, 6 lead changes, and 23 laps of racing left here tonight at Atlanta.
Definitely another great show for these guys. 1 caution last week, 1 caution so far this week. It's just seen some great racing. It's been awesome.
If you look, Gary Shank gets himself back up into 7th. Len McNeese now up in 6th. Dean Viney moves into the 8th position. Michael Campbell is in 9th, and Paul Cohen is shown in 10th right now. We see the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade, who is in 5th, wanting to get by these trucks that are a lap down. We'll keep
sorry.
I say we'll keep an eye on it over here and see if they do let him by.
So at this point in the race, this is being the leader, you're kind of at a disadvantage right now. You're the first guy to catch lap cars. And usually once they go a lap down, they let the second place guy go a little easier than they let you go. So we'll see if Ryan Gemmel in second can close this gap up.
It's funny. I've always experienced it the other way around. Usually, they'll let the leader go by, and if you're, second, third, fourth, or fifth on the lead lap, the guys don't seem to want to let you go by because you're not the leader. So, I don't get it, man.
Well, I've experienced it both ways, and it's frustrating either way. You look at it, and you're trying to fight for a win and you're getting held up a little bit, but it is what it is. It's racing.
So right now you have the 31 of Michael Palmer, the 101 of David Gainforth, and the 13th of Dwayne LaPrade for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And they are nose to tail right here.
And we see Dwayne trying to take a look on the outside of David Gainforth here.
See if that outside line has come in or not.
Looks like he's able to get some good momentum towards the end of the straightaway. But as soon as they get the entry of the corner, they're able to pull back. But it looks like he's hanging on pretty good on the outside there right now.
In 2 weeks, they'll be heading to Daytona. So that ought to be a real good race too.
Yeah, that track's so much fun to run in these trucks.
We see Marcus McFadden made a comment that he'll be running a special paint scheme, so we can't wait to see that on here. We see Dwayne shoot it down low, gonna try the inside. 101 does close the door on him. Ryan Gemmel about 1.2 seconds back from Kurt Davidson. Kurt Davidson, your leader, with 57 laps led, so he will come out of here tonight with the most laps led. Dwayne LaPrade right now will be your second in leading laps. He has 28 laps led so far this race. See the 31 of Michael Palmer push up. That allows the 101 to get by, and the 13 and the 51 of Paul Cohen is going to get by also. So now we have David Gainforth in 3rd and Dwayne LaPrade up to 4th.
That battle's still not going away. Dwayne's all over the back bumper of David Gainforth here still.
Yeah, that's for third and fourth place right there.
That's about the closest battle for position I can see on the track at the moment.
Yeah, we see the 51 of Paul Cohen in that mix, but he is a lap down to them. The next driver in that mix would be the 31 of Michael Palmer, and then the 25 of Gary Shank and the 71 of Dean Viney. Tony Gray in the 00 is a lap down, shown in 10th place.
There's two separate battles going on there. I didn't realize that. We got the battle for third place with David and Gary, and then 9th and 10th for Tony and Buzz.
Yep. We got a lot of racing going on right here with these four trucks, and all for a position. And we'll be coming to 10 laps go this time by. Got Kurt Davidson out front, Ryan Gemmel, David Gainforth, Dwayne LaPrade, Michael Palmer, your top five. We see Tony Gray on the outside now of the 51 of Paul Cohen, and that is for 9th and 10th. And then right in front of them is the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade and the 101 of David Gainforth, and that's for 3rd and 4th.
It's been a pretty wild battle going on there. I know that Paul Cohen and Tony Gray have been using the draft off of 3rd and 4th place guys to try to sort out their position.
And we see Paul Cohen now looking underneath the 13 of Dwayne LaPrade. And Dwayne is going to get hung a little bit out there with the 92. Oh, I hope they didn't make contact.
Yeah, it looked like they had a little bit of contact there. I think the 92 of Michael Campbell got the worst of it right there.
Wow, that was close.
And that was for position as well with the lap down guys, Dwayne and Paul Cohen. Michael Campbell was up in 8th.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of stuck the wall just a little bit right in front of the 13 of Dwayne. And Dwayne did his best to keep off it, man. A little bit of contact, but they do keep it going, so that's good. That's a plus right there. We're winding this thing down here, man. 7 laps to go. Kurt Davidson with a 2-second lead over Ryan Gemmel with coming to 67 laps led out of 125. So a great run for Kurt tonight. We'll run through the top 10 real quick. We have Michael Campbell in 10th, Tony Gray in 9th, Paul Cohen in 8th, Dean Viney moves up to 7th, Gary Shank back to the lead lap on 6th, Michael Palmer in 5th, Dwayne LaPrade in 4th, David Gainforth in 3rd, Ryan Gemmel in 2nd, and your leader Kurt Davidson as we come to 5 to go.
It's definitely pretty wild to see how green flag stops really spread the field out here tonight.
And we see Kurt Davidson now going underneath the 84 of Len McNeese. Len McNeese will let him go on by. We will be coming to 3 to go this time by. Not a bad race. 125 laps, 1 caution. Kurt Davidson now about 2.8 seconds ahead of second place Ryan Gemmel. Not really any closer battles going on for second, third, or fourth. We have David Gameforth in third, and a little bit ways back to Dwayne LaPrade. Bet that little bit of contact hurt his truck, man. He was putting on a battle there for a little bit.
Yeah, that was a tough break for Dwayne right there, but you know, they were able to do a great job and not really have any huge incident there, and they were able to keep it going.
And we are on the white flag now. It looks like Kurt Davidson, if he can just keep it together for these next couple turns, will come out here. Your winner tonight at Atlanta.
Yeah, it's a great run for Kurt here. And talking to him lately, he's had some bad luck. I'm sure this has got to make him feel good here.
And he crosses the stripe here at Atlanta. Kurt Davidson will take her home. Your winner tonight with 73 laps led, man, out of 125. So definitely a great run for Kurt tonight. That's definitely going to change up the points coming into Daytona.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, Ryan Gemmel, I think a couple of these guys missed last week. You know, Kurt Davidson, your race winner tonight. Ryan Gemmel finishes second, and David Gainforth rounds out the top 3.
Yeah, good to see Ryan have a good run tonight. He's had some bad luck in last season, so maybe he's got it turned around this time. And we see our winner getting ready to burn him down.
Probably doesn't have much tire left to burn him down.
Shake him or break him, man. All right, let's get a better view here, and we'll work our way around to our winner. And looks like Kurt Davidson has the Butler Furniture and the O2 Derm Relief on his truck, man. All right. All right, well, there's your winner. It's Kurt Davidson. He comes out here with 73 laps led tonight out of 125. We will get with him. We'll start with third place tonight, and we'll work our way back down. You feel like taking third and first? I'll take second.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Are you able to contact them, or no? Do you need me to?
I'll get him. That's fine. Hey, David Gainforth, it's Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, sure do, Joe.
Well, it was a long green flag run to end the race there. We saw, you know, towards the end of it there, you had quite a battle going on with Dwayne LaPrade, and a couple guys got together, and you were able to hang on to it and bring her home in third. How'd the race play out for you from your point of view?
Yeah, I'm really happy. The luck I've been having lately here and over at Southern Motorsports, it's been terrible. So this third place, it's like a win for me. That's why I changed brands of trucks. I changed the paint job. I've done everything to try to find some luck here. So tonight I had a little bit of good luck, and I'm hoping it carries over.
Yeah, well, whatever you're doing, it definitely helped out. And I don't know, I'm a little superstitious myself, so hopefully, yeah, changing those things around was able to change some luck up for you. Well,
Yeah, we had a lot of fun though. Those guys just got up too far ahead of me, and you know, Dwayne and I were having a good battle there, and I was battling hard there at the 31, and he slipped up there a little bit in lap traffic. It was a lot of good hard racing today. Everybody did a great job.
Hey, well, it's good to see you up front, bud. We know that a lot of guys around. It seems to be the theme of the last several weeks is bad luck seems to be biting a lot of people. So it's good to see you running up front, and you bring her home in third place tonight. Congratulations! And before we let you get back up there, is there anyone you'd like to thank or give a shout out to?
Yeah, of course. I got to give a shout out to Dean for putting this league on at JC. You and Paul up in the booth broadcasting. You guys do an awesome job. I enjoy racing with you when you're out on the track, and everybody here is just a good group of guys. And I look forward to tomorrow night. See if I can get this truck up to the top 3 again.
All right, bud. Sounds good, and congratulations and thank you as well.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night.
All right, good run, man.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, Ryan Gemmel, this is Paul up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's up, Paul?
Hey, dude, you had a good run tonight. Yeah, you got 21 laps led. I'm sure you would have liked to have had the victory, but you started on the pole, had a pretty decent run. Give us a little breakdown of what was going on out there on the track.
Well, the car felt amazing for about 20 laps, and then you'd get your usual tire fall off, and you'd have to let off a little more in the corners. And on the first run, off the start of the race, whenever that hit me, I pushed straight up the track, and I wasn't really expecting it, and I lost a bunch of spots, but couldn't really rebound to get up to the lead after that. But I gave it all I had, and I just couldn't quite get Kurt. Man, he was flying.
Yeah, you had a pretty good run there, man. You got to lead 21 laps. You did start on the pole with a good time there. Look pretty strong. I know you've had some bad luck in the last season. Weren't able to finish a couple of races, man. But hopefully this changes around your luck now and get you going in the right direction. This will definitely help you in the points and keep you moving forward, man. Nice paint job you got out there on the truck, man. Look really strong. So I wouldn't be disappointed with a second, and I would definitely take this and move forward, man, with a smile on my face,
Oh yeah, absolutely. I missed last week's race, the first race. I couldn't make it, and coming out and getting a second is a huge momentum boost, and I'm gonna try and carry it forward into next week and throughout the rest of the season, and hopefully we can rebound from missing the first race and make something happen.
I believe next week we're off here, and then the following week is Daytona. You know how Daytona is, man. Daytona can be win or lose, you know what I mean? So hopefully you can carry some of this with you out there, get some good luck out there in Daytona, and increase your point standings a little bit more.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to give it all I got.
Oh, congratulations on second, bro. Good to see you have a decent run here tonight again. And before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
No, just thanks to Dean and everyone that puts together these races, and you and Joe for broadcasting them every week. It's a blast running in this league and in SOMO, and couldn't ask for anything better.
All right, man. Well, once again, man, congratulations on the pole, and congratulations on the second place finish here tonight, man. And keep it going forward, bro, and we'll talk to you again.
All right, thanks, Paul.
All righty. All right, let's see if we can't get caught up with our winner here.
Hey, Kurt, it's Joe up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Oh, man, we saw quite the battle going on early in the race. We saw some contact and a lot of guys that luck really didn't go their way tonight. And, you're able to steer clear of all the mayhem, and, you lead the most laps tonight. You lead a bunch of laps, and you bring it home in first place. That's got to feel pretty good for you.
Yeah, it's my second race with these guys, and it's one heck of a show. I'm glad to win. I hate that me and the 13 got together a little bit. I just talking to him a little bit, and it seems like he checked up a little bit, and we always kind of drove into each other at that point. I hate it for him. I hate it cautioning it, come out to kind of reset everything to make it back on an even playing field. But I don't know. This league has a setup in the truck that past 2 weeks has been phenomenal, fun. It's way different than what iRacing setups are. You actually have to drive off the right rear. And, Tonight it was about 18, 19 laps in. You start losing some time, and then about lap 25, you really had to kind of pedal it in 3. But it's a blast. These guys race good and clean and hard. It's fun.
Yeah, well, you had a great run tonight, and it's got to feel good. I don't know, there must be something in the water here lately because we all seem to be having some pretty bad luck. I mean, it's good to see you up front, man. And like I said, you lead the most laps tonight. You bring it home in first, and congratulations to you. You know, it's just good to see a lot of guys be able to rebound from their bad luck stories and persevere and get some good finishes here tonight. But before I let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank or give a shout out to?
I gotta thank Dean Viney and the GAC Racing League. They put on a nice quality show, and you and Paul for putting on a nice broadcast with SRTV. And I gotta thank Paul with the Somo League too, because had it not been for him in that league, I wouldn't be here in this league right now. So it's a ton of fun racing with both of them.
Yeah, and you come out with 73 laps led, man. That's definitely something to talk about, man. That's a real good run, and it's good to see. And man, 125 laps here, 1 caution, a lot of racing going on in between. We were watching early on, and we saw a bunch of races in the races, man, side by side, bunched up, and just so much respect out there, man. I know Dean's got to be happy to see that going on, and it definitely puts on a good show for us. And hopefully everybody that was watching and that watches this later on, sees the amount of respect and the give and take out there, man. But guys weren't just driving around, there was definitely some racing going on. So like I said, man, to see 125 laps and 1 caution, that's definitely something to be proud of.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, one more question before we let you go. I think we're off here next week, but the week after we head to Daytona. Do you think you have anything for these guys? You know how restrictor plate races can be. They can be a little tricky, apparently, like my speech tonight. But do you think you have anything for these guys out there?
I'm not a fan of Daytona, and I'll be riding in the back, waiting for the end of it, and just try to get good points that day. I'm not a big fan of Daytona and all that stuff, so we'll see. I might get lucky.
Well, all right, bud. Well, we look forward to seeing you on track again, and again, congratulations to you. You had a really amazing run tonight. It's something to be proud of, and hopefully you can keep that momentum going, and we talk to you more in the future. So have a good night, bud.
All right, thank you.
Congratulations on that win, bro.
Thank you.
I'm going to see if I can get a word in with Dean real quick. I don't want to bother him, but I just want to talk to him real quick. So let me just see if I can't get a hold of Dean. Dean, this is Paul in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you there, Paul.
Hey, buddy. We were just talking to the guys, talking to Kurt Davidson on his win. We were telling him, you got to be proud of 125 laps here, man, with some real hard racing, even early on. I mean, there was racing going on from the drop of the green flag on. And to have 1 caution, man, definitely got to be proud of it. Guys are putting on some real good races, putting on a real good show, and it shows, and we just want to let you know that, man.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. And we're trying anyway, and there after the race net, I congratulated all the guys on just a well of a job, that they're doing so far here in the early season. I know only a couple races, but when you look at last season and the season before, in different series, kudos to the guys. I mean, they're just doing an outstanding job. We're getting some new guys in, and I'm thinking hopefully they get it figured out. You know how things go over here, and if they don't, we'll get them figured out. But they're doing a good job too. The guys that's coming in so far, and that's what we're looking for. And sometimes you got to kind of look, see, and sometimes there's guys you'd like to have, but probably know better than do it.
Right. But well, we just got to say, man, it definitely shows, and it put on a great show tonight, man. And you know, like we said to Kurt just a couple minutes ago, there wasn't any just driving around. I mean, there was racing going on even early on. I mean, you know, there was 5-6 cars, 5-6 trucks, you know, packed side by side, lap after lap after lap. I mean, just swapping spots and everything. And you know, the amount of give and take was really good, but it was definitely put on for a good show. So we just wanted to mention that. I believe we are off next week, and then the following week we're back at Daytona. Am I right?
Correct. Yeah, you know, with the big races coming up this coming weekend and everything. And so, yeah, like always, we're going to take this weekend off. That way, hope everybody enjoys the racing out there. Maybe hope some people can get a chance to go to some of them. And, you know, and yeah, then we're going to be back here at Daytona for a night race for 90 laps. And, you know, hopefully we can put on a good race there, I'm hoping.
Yeah, I think so. All right, man. Well, listen, before we let you go, is anybody you want to give a shout out to? Any sponsors, anybody watching that you just want to recognize here tonight before we move on?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out actually to some of the guys and the members in GAC that's, you know, really helped out this year, you know, really stepped up, and I appreciate that from all the guys that did step up this year to be able to have, you know, SRTV, you guys and that doing the good job that you guys do up there in the booth and being able to put these on live, and you know, hopefully, you know, the fans appreciate it. I hope, and that, and some of the feedback that I do get in emails and things like that, I'm thinking they do so far enjoy it, and hopefully we can just keep putting on some good racing. And like you were saying, Paul, you know, we're racing. I mean, it ain't like we're just laying around and putting around out there. They're getting it done and doing a smart job about it. And that makes it fun. And when I go back and watch it myself, I enjoy watching it.
Yeah, yeah, and it definitely has to make you feel good as the owner of the league, because I know when our races go good, man, I feel good about it, and it's just a good feeling to know all that work and all that time that you put in. You know what I mean? It's paying off. So congratulations on that, man. To all the guys here, a hell of a job tonight, and we'll see y'all in 2 weeks at Daytona, and rock it from there, man.
I appreciate it, Paul, and you and Joe there. You know, just keep up the good work. You're doing a fine job, and we really appreciate you guys having us on board again this season. And things work out. Hopefully, we stay around a little longer yet.
All right.
Appreciate it, fellas.
Well, thank you, Dean, and you know, congrats on another great race tonight. It was an awesome show and awesome to be a part of it. So thank you too.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, let's go ahead and run through our race results here tonight. You want to get them started this time, Joe?
I'm fired. I actually don't screw it up.
All right, don't worry about it. I know I've done that before. All right, well, we have Kurt Davidson, who takes her home in first with 73 laps led tonight. Man, had a great run here. Ryan Gamble, who started on the pole, manages to get back and hang on a second. David Gainford gets himself up to third. Dwayne LaPrade finishes fourth tonight. And Michael Palmer will take her home in fifth. Sixth place will go to Gary Shank. Dean Viney will finish seventh. Paul Cohn will take her home eighth. Tony Gray will take it home ninth. And rounding out top 10 will be Len McNeese. 11th will go to Mark McFadden. 12th will be John Estes. 13th will be Michael Campbell. 14th will go to Mark Koshix. 15th goes to Shane Gross. 16th to Billy Rodenberger, who was having a really great run here tonight too, man. It was good to see him out there and having a good run. 17th will go to Jim Locking, who early on had some issues. We weren't able to contact him to find out what happened, but we're sure it was something probably electrical or connection wires or something, because it's not like Jim to just pull her over like that. But I'm sure if he was having problems, he felt it was better to get off the track and get out of the way. So, you know, sorry to see that happen to Jim, but I'm sure he'll be back here in 2 weeks ready to go again. And 18th will go to Randy Perdue. And we'll run over the race summary. We had 6 lead changes, 1 caution for 125 laps. And man, that's something really good. Kurt Davidson does take her home tonight, your winner. And next in 2 weeks, join us here at GAC for Daytona for 90 laps. We'll have the points up, and we'll go over who's in the lead after tonight's race, and we'll see what shakes up after that.
Yeah, definitely tune in for that Daytona race. That's going to be wild, I'm sure, because if we saw the side-by-side battle and we had the night on a 1.5-mile track, I can only imagine it's going to be 10 times more exciting on a restrictor plate, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you know how it is at Daytona. I mean, there's always a lot of action going on there. Going to be, a pretty decent sized run. So we'll see what happens, man. But 8:45, not next Monday, but the following Monday. Join us here for GAC in the Truck Series Unleashed. Until then, thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and follow GAC Monday nights and Somo Tuesday and Wednesday nights, and see what else comes up on here. But thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Joe, thanks for sitting up in the booth with me again, man. I enjoyed it as always, and I look forward to calling it again in 2 weeks with you, bro.
Oh, no problem, man. I absolutely appreciate and enjoy being a part of all of this. And thanks to anyone watching. We appreciate your support, and have a good night. And we'll see you at Daytona.
Yeah, and I apologize earlier. We had an emergency here, a little plumbing issue. Almost had a big flood, and I had to step away for a little bit. But glad we got that handled and back on. But we'll see you here at GAC on June 5th at 8:45 at Daytona. Take care, everybody.